Welcome to Capital City News, your source for staying informed and engaged with Salt Lake City government. I'm your host, Brian Young with SLC TV. On our episode this week, we spoke with Ashley Lichtle, the mayor's ADA coordinator, about mobility issues that folks have every winter. Our History Minute is about Carroll's ghost, a gruesome story for this Halloween season. But before we get to those, let's take a look at our look-backs, some look-aheads, and our legislative update.
At its September 20th meeting, the City Council discussed the North Point Small Area Master Plan, received updates on housing-related zoning amendments, including shared housing, off-street parking regulations, and changes to the RMF 30 zoning district, discussed Budget Amendment 3 for fiscal year 22-23, and they interviewed and appointed folks to various positions across the city. To learn more, visit slc.gov/council.
Of 2022, Unidos Inclusivity for a Stronger Nation emphasizes the need to ensure diverse voices and perspectives are welcomed and represented in decision-making processes, which helps to build stronger communities and a stronger nation.
Mayor Aaron Mendenhall marked the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month alongside City Council members and leaders from the Hispanic business community. Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September 15th to October 15th each year and recognizes the achievements and contributions of Hispanic and Latino Americans.
Celebrate together the beauty of our Hispanic community and all of us. The Hispanics that are still closely connected. Let's celebrate those Hispanics that are still closely connected to their home country and those who aren't. The Hispanics who haven't yet found their way home to celebrating their culture, and those who are loud and proud. Let's together we're weaving a community together, weaving a tapestry of history. So let's challenge each other and let's celebrate. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody here.
Since summer has come to an end, event season is winding down. In case you missed it, Salt Lake City was involved with 3 fantastic Ballpark street festivals over the past several weeks: a back-to-school baseball bash, the Kensington Street Festival, and a classic car show. Thanks so much to all the city staff and community members that made these Ballpark events happen. And thanks to everyone that attended. The events wouldn't have been so successful and fun without you.
Salt Lake City is in need of crossing guards to help school children safely cross the streets as they walk to and from school. There are currently paid part-time positions available now. Apply today and help keep kids safe in Salt Lake City. Visit slc.gov/jobs for more information.
Salt Lake City's waste and recycling teams work hard to make sure that residents' recycling, compost, and trash are picked up every week from 42,000 homes and businesses. When you find yourself behind a waste and recycling truck, be patient and put safety first. Slow down. Look for oncoming cars and workers before you attempt to pass a truck. Stop if necessary and don't pass if you don't have full visibility or enough space. Look out for pedestrians, cyclists, children, and pets that may be obscured by the truck. Never pass a collection truck on the right. Drivers have blind spots due to the size and angles of collection equipment, and you will be in harm's way. If needed, let the truck finish its collection to keep workers, oncoming motorists, pedestrians, and yourself safe. We can all do our part to prevent accidents and keep ourselves and Salt Lake City's waste and recycling workers safe. For more information, visit slcgreen.com. Although it's fall, road construction season continues. Please check out these projects we're working on now.
The Foothill and Sunnyside intersection project is replacing aging pavement, making the intersection safer for pedestrians and connecting existing bike and pedestrian trails. Road reconstruction activities are complete, and so striping, signal, and landscape work is on track to complete in October. On 200 South, crews plan to complete all work between 900 East and 600 East by mid-October. For the remainder of the season, crews will focus on removing and replacing concrete driveways and completing asphalt paving between 600 East and 300 East. Pedestrians and cyclists are encouraged to avoid work zones and use alternate routes at 100 South and 300 South.
That's it for our road construction update. Remember to keep track of these or any other projects we're working on in the city. Visit slc.gov/construction. For our interview this week, we spoke with Ashley Lichtle, the ADA coordinator in the Salt Lake City Mayor's office. She spoke to us about the importance of clearing our sidewalks of any debris, but especially snow.
My name is Ashley Lichtle, and I am the city's ADA coordinator housed in the mayor's office. It entails a lot of different things. On one side, there's a lot of working with individuals, residents around the city to ensure that they are fully able to participate in all sorts of things, programs, services, activities happening around the city. And then kind of internally ensuring that the things that we do as a city are accessible, and thinking about accessibility and how what we do as a city impacts everyone in the city, from visitors to residents, and just any part of life that the city kind of has their hands in.
One thing we wanted to talk about was really how accessibility means mobility for some people, and how, as we get through into fall now finally, and we're heading toward winter months, what is one of the big concerns as far as mobility for folks who need some of those accessibility accommodations?
When we think about accessibility in the snow, if sidewalks are covered, if they have snow, if they have ice, or even as the snow melts and there are large puddles, it makes navigating those sidewalks very difficult, which means that people who use mobility devices may not be able to attend appointments or get groceries, or really even just go about their daily lives.
What's one way residents in Salt Lake City can help ensure that mobility for those folks who need those accessibility accommodations?
So the easiest thing for folks to help in this way is to just shovel any sidewalks or public right of way that are adjacent to your property. And if you want to go above and beyond, if there's anyone in your neighborhood or any areas around you that aren't shoveled, maybe you, if you are able to, can shovel that for someone else. Those are really helpful things that just you can do that hopefully can be a little quick, and really just really mean a lot to folks who need to navigate those spaces.
Why is it so important for us to keep our walks clear of not just snow, but like really any debris?
We see this any time of year, whether it is in a construction zone or, like you said, if there's debris in sidewalks or snow and ice, anything like that in the sidewalk right-of-way area. If that is blocked or inaccessible, then something that some folks might feel the only way that they can get to where they need to go is by using the street, which can be very dangerous, not only to them, but also to anyone else that is utilizing the street via a vehicle, a bike, anything like that. So it can be very dangerous for anyone in the street if someone is in the street who should be on the sidewalk. So that's why it's so imperative to really keep all sidewalks clear and accessible at all times.
From the community who needs that, or for any users of sidewalks, sort of what are the things that you hear in your role as far as how the city's doing on that right now?
There are definitely a couple of hotspot areas that don't seem to get enough attention as far as removing snow from sidewalks. And so because of that, the city, we are really working on communicating better, informing businesses and residents of what their responsibilities are, and also how they can just help each other out. And so we're hoping that at the city, we can mobilize more people to help out and overall see less issues in some of those hotspot areas.
If I'm a resident of Salt Lake City and I want to help out, I want to reach out and find out ways I can help beyond just my immediate sidewalks and neighborhoods, what way would you invite people to do that?
Yeah, we are hoping to maybe get some sort of volunteer corps, and we haven't gotten all the pieces in place yet, but if you are interested in helping out in any way, you can always send me an email. The easiest email to reach me at is ada@slcgov.com, and just let me know what you are willing or able to do.
Thank you so much for joining us today to talk about this, Ashley. I think it's a really great reminder.
Yes, thanks for having me. And if anyone has any questions about snow removal or anything related to accessibility or disability, please do email me. We love to help out where we can.
It's October, and that means another spooky History Minute. In the winter of 1904, William J. Carroll, a drayman living in Salt Lake City, had been recently divorced from his wife because of his abusive behavior. In the weeks leading up to his arrest, he'd stop by her home at 728 West First South and hurl abuse at her and scream. She called the police and brought him up on charges of using abusive language. Mrs. Carroll, whose first name the papers at the time did not print, and some of her friends testified against her former husband in court. When the judge asked Carroll if he'd like to say anything, he said that she'd said all there was to say, then hurled a curse at her and said that he'd told her what he'd do. That's when he produced a razor blade and cut his own throat in the courtroom for all to see, blood spurting everywhere. Many thought this was the end of the story of William J. Carroll and good riddance, but according to a report in the January 5, 1908 edition of the Salt Lake Republican Herald, two women, Arabella Brown and Lori Williams, confined in the Salt Lake City jail, had an encounter with his ghost. They claimed he roamed the halls in the middle of the night. "Ain't you dead?" one of the women asked the ghost, but the specter's only response was to smile and laugh, prancing and dancing up and down the prison hallway, shaking his head all the while. Both women were too frightened to do anything about it and covered their heads beneath their blankets until dawn. That's it for this installment of Capital City News. Remember, the best way to stay engaged is to stay informed. You can do that by following us on social media at SLCGov, by subscribing to us on YouTube, or watching us on Channel 17. So reporting in above the city from Ensign Peak, I'm Brian Young.